Welcome to the Master Control Podcast, the podcast where we talk about Obi Wan, this time part 5. For the first time I say it part. What happened in part 5? Basically the whole episode was dealing with the siege of the base on the planet, that name I forgot. But what we are seeing is that the path is starting to evacuate, fleeing the Empire which is approaching. But since the small little robot of Leia was manipulated, Lola the robot was manipulated and is now acting as a saboteur so that the hangar doors won't open and the ship can't start. They are stuck there and the Empire arrives, they are firing, and so Obi-Wan has to be smart and tries to hold them off while the others still repairing the hangar door and escape. And at the end, Obi-Wan is captured, then released, and we see a tragic turn of events regarding Reva. So let's talk about the highlights of this episode. What do you got?
First of all, Lola is the hit. Kudos to Disney to always come up with new ways to make the robots, to make the artificial intelligence even sweeter than the ones before, I have to say. Really, really nice. But other than that, actually Vader pulling down a ship, holding off a ship. I mean, we talked about in part 4 about, like holding off a whole planet just for the sake of not flooding this gorgeous pyramid. And now Vader is holding off a spaceship. Wow. Once again, awesome. I like that.
Yeah, we saw that at least since we didn't play the video games. We saw that in episode...
Don't tell them that.
What? Oh, yeah, of course I played all the video games.
All of them.
No, but at least in this one movie where Rey was holding down this transport ship where Chewbacca was on and then almost killed him. That was, at least for me, the first time that I saw someone using the Force to keep a spaceship from starting.
True.
And back then, it kind of ended the same way. Darth Vader now destroyed the ship while holding it down with the Force. And Rey did the same. Spoiler alert.
For what? Exactly a spoiler alert. Everyone who's listening or watching this podcast supposedly knows that Rey held off that ship and then
That's true.
Kind of exploded and Chewie died.
That's
spoiler
true.
alert. Yeah, that was one of the highlights. And the other one was that, and I knew it, and I told you, Reva is a youngling. Or she was a youngling.
I'm pretty sure that I told you that.
No. I don't think so. I think, or at least I will
check the recording.
Which recording?
Of this podcast.
Oh, maybe you told me while we were watching the episode itself or the part itself. So, well, anyway, Reva being a youngling, really awesome, surviving Order 66. With those gorgeous brown, huge eyes and this really disgusting helmet that they're all wearing. It's looking ridiculous. Anyway, she has this hate for angry Anakin, and now we really get it. She's just like a double agent waiting for her chance to kill him in the end.
Yeah. I wouldn't say double agent because she's not working for anyone. It's a personal vendetta against Darth Vader.
Those are the best.
Yeah, but I really like this story arc, even though I thought this part was way too short because it was only a couple of minutes between revealing her plan and then actually standing up to Vader and having a quite awesome sword fight. I think this was actually my favorite highlight of this episode, seeing Darth Vader showing his true force, beating her without even fighting her. I think
actually that was the most awesome part. It was like every fight that you had with your bigger brother or your bigger sister, like being pushed away. They have the longer arms and you can just like hold them off when they are so small. So that was literally the situation between Vader and Reva. That was fun. And she got pierced twice.
Yeah. Right. It was kind of like a running gag between the two of them. No, but I was always thinking, like, Darth Vader, when I watched the old movies with Darth Vader, I was always thinking, like, why is he so menacing? Because he's moving very slow and he has this helmet, and it always felt like if you run away from him, yeah, no problem, because he can't run with his heavy armor and everything. But this episode showed why he is so dangerous and so menacing, because he's so powerful that he does not even have to pull a sword to fight a sword-wielding Jedi Knight, even though she's not a Jedi, but someone with a lightsaber. So this is kind of menacing, yeah. Regardless from trying to fly away with the spaceship, and he can just hold it down with the Force.
True, that's true. Yeah. Well, oops, he did it again. He pierced her twice. That was my second highlight, actually, the youngling story. And then the third one was, did you watch Homeland, guys? I did. I liked him. So the Grand Inquisitor is back, and I was rooting for him. I was thinking, actually, why did they kill him off so fast? Because he's such a cool character, beside the fact that I like the actor himself. But that was actually, so the hate thing kept him alive. So it seems to be a thing with the Force. If you're hateful enough, you stay alive. Actually, proven by Vader, proven by Reva, and proven now by the original Grand Inquisitor. And actually, Reva has been demoted now, right? She was promoted and then demoted again. That's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, stabbing someone
feels like a demotion.
I'm not sure if this counts as a demotion, but yeah, sure. The Grand Inquisitor took his badge back, so
exactly.
It was kind of, yeah. But I mean, demoting means that she still has a rank with the Inquisitors. I'm not sure
now
if that's
in the dirt.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if she's going to work still with him. I think she will now. To be honest, I have no idea. It seems at the end she was going to follow Obi-Wan to Tatooine, or
wherever they go
to Tatooine, but I'm not sure what her plan is, because she revealed that her goal was to kill Darth Vader, and this plan failed. But what is she going to do next? Yeah,
this is what part 6 is going to tell us. But
right.
Anyway, and let's go over to the lowlights, because
Sure.
I have lowlights as well. How do I put that? Obi-Wan used Reva. That's not a nice thing to do. He actually put her out on the spot in order to kill his Padawan, a thing that he is not able and has not the guts or the balls or the saber to do so. I'm sorry to say so. So he kind of left her alone with the whole situation. That was a lowlight big time from this old person, Obi Wan Kenobi, who is supposed to be way stronger than she is. Also, he spots a bunch of lightsabers in the path, on the path base, but we don't know whom they belong to. On the one hand, obviously they belong to Jedis. So what about that? Do they bring them to a museum? What happens with them? Are they going to kind of do the Game of Thrones, build a throne out of it?
I think this was just a visualization, because the path is smuggling out Jedis, and I think this symbolizes that the path already saved a lot of Jedis, and they put down their swords and their robes and everything that identifies them as a Jedi, because then they will live undercover somewhere in exile. And I think this was just showing like the end of the path, and so far they were able to rescue Jedis, and now everything is over. And so with this event, now the path is dead.
It was just a sad situation to see all of those. I was instantly thinking of Game of Thrones, and I would wield my throne out of it. Anyway, and last but not least, it was actually the situation when Reva found the comlink thingy of Obi-Wan, and she's smart enough to deduce that there's something with children going on. We have to go to Tatooine, and something with Owen and the boy. So she's gonna add that up to the story. I'm quite sure, like you said, they are going to travel to Tatooine next. I mean, Obi-Wan and Leia already had the tinglings, the spider senses coming up, so they know in a way, or at least he can add up 1 and 1, or sum up 1 and 1, do the math thing and come up with 2. That's gonna be exciting, and in a way, I'm so disappointed of this part of this episode, because I just realized when writing down the notes for this episode, for the podcast, that it's the penultimate part of Obi-Wan. I waited for that like for centuries, and now we're just out. We're 1 episode out. We're 1 part out before they cancel it, and or before we see it next year again. So this is the sad part for me. Whatever they will tell us in the next part, in the last part, is going to be epic, obviously, and then we're gonna have to wait another, I don't know, century up until we see the next one. And this is where I think they could have progressed some more with the story, rather than just show us, okay, there's Leia, there's Owen, there's Luke. We're going to run around a little bit in the galaxy and then come back and see what Vader is up to. So let's see what happens next. But on the other hand, it was way too short for me.
Yeah, what Disney is doing with their short series format is basically produce 1 movie and cutting it down into 6 pieces and releasing them week by week. And so you don't get more than a movie. And
yeah, but
on the one hand, it's very well produced. You see high production quality. And but I know what you mean. Usually if you watch a series, a TV show, you have the quality of a very long progressing storyline, and that's not what we get
But even
here.
if you don't apply the TV show rules to it, and let's say for the sake of it's because the production quality is so high, let's say we don't apply TV show rules to it, but even for a movie, hello, I've been living in a cave for the past 10 years, this is the kid, this is the other kid, we're gonna run around, someone is going to hold up an ocean, the other one a ship, and eventually we will kill off one of the main characters or 2. Oh, and by the way, probably the showdown is going to be on the same planet that we started off with. It's even too short for a TV, for the classic TV movie, I would say. The 90 minutes classic TV movie that has, like the typical, you have to have a proper ending, and the proper ending is going to be a cliffhanger. I can tell you this is going to happen, and this is the way to go down, and now I have it on tape.
Yeah, the one thing that I really miss in the Star Wars universe is the story of bad guys, because I think they keep introducing interesting bad characters, evil characters, like what's it called? This robot cowboy in
yeah, I know, I remember.
Yeah,
but you know that they release soon the Bad Batch, so actually they have a whole show about it
with these stormtroopers, the animated show.
The animated show, yes.
Yeah, but that's not what I mean. I mean, for example, the Inquisitors. They are now presented as kind of main characters, and I really like these guys, and especially Reva. She is actually a real character in this show, and I think following her and her storyline would be very, very entertaining. And also, what I always wanted to see, and I hoped for this happening now with Obi-Wan, is learning more about Darth Vader as a character, because even though Darth Vader is kind of the protagonist in the whole Star Wars universe through almost all of the movies, now that's not true. But at least the old movies, he does not really get a lot of screen time, and he does not really get a lot of dialogues. But the way that the character evolves, especially in episode 1 to 6, is really amazing. And the most interesting part of Darth Vader, meaning his actual career in the Empire, is never shown. We see him becoming Darth Vader in episode 3, Then we see him like chasing Luke Skywalker and dying in episode 6, but we never see him actually ruling the galaxy and bringing the reign of terror of the Empire. And this is, from my perspective, the interesting part. Show me that. Make a movie, a Darth Vader movie, a Darth Vader TV show, and showing actually Darth Vader doing stuff.
You want to see the rise and fall of Luke Skywalker, of Darth Vader?
Yes. I mean, we saw the fall of Darth Vader, but
No, that wasn't the fall. That was actually the rise of Darth Vader. Or you mean, or what do you mean?
I mean, chasing Luke Skywalker, getting chopped up and dying in the end.
Yeah,
this is what we saw in episode 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
But I want to see like the 30 years or whatever it is, like 20 years between him getting into power and building like the Death Star. This is this gap which is kind of bridged in Rogue One, where we see like this very small part of some rebels are stealing the plans for the Death Star, but the whole part before that, like how the Empire evolved, this interesting part of Darth Vader, the part where Darth Vader is actually the main character and we see more of him doing stuff. Yeah, and I hope that now with Obi Wan, which is playing in this era, we would see more, and actually we see like glimpses of this, where we see, for example, these new memories of Obi-Wan fighting, like training with Anakin. This was amazing. It was weird because it's obvious that the now more mature characters, actors.
Them old.
The old actors were playing like young characters again. It was interesting. But this is what I want to see. Like more of the characters while they were living together, interacting with each other. And this is still not coming. This makes me sad.
Actually, you reminded me that there was a before the camera turns off again because it overheats. Actually, you reminded me that having a series or having a TV show, Star Wars show about the career path of Darth Vader could be actually something very interesting. That's right. And the other one could be, I want one of those. Do you remember that they had, back in the days, they had fashion lines with shoes of Darth Vader and Chewbacca and stuff? I need that merch again. Requesting fashion line Vader style, please, because black is still awesome and black and red are really nice. So yeah,
I want to see a Game of Thrones style TV show where everyone can die, nobody has plot armor, based on the evolution of the Empire, right? Like Game of Thrones in the Empire. This is what I want to see.
Can we leave out the mountain?
No.
Situation
we need something like that. That's exactly what we need.
I can't see the Viper thing and the mountain again. It doesn't really compute with me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but soon we will have a new Game of Thrones TV show, which we are of course going to cover very, very intensively on this podcast, because I'm pretty sure we won't be able to keep it like in 50-minute time slots discussing the episodes of the new Game of Thrones show.
True. But the next one that we're starting off is going to be For All Mankind, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sure.
So For All Mankind is coming up. So podcast For All Mankind. Within this Master Control podcast, we will have the Umbrella Academy Season 3. We will have the next Game of Thrones thing. We will have the Lord of the Rings thing in the future. So stay tuned. We will need to do much more than we do right now.
But for now, that's it. And see you next week. See you and hear you next week when we review the big finale of Obi-Wan.
It's going to be so sad.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.